welcome to Play Nerd Allies. We're starting a little late today. Apologies for that. Um, yeah, if everybody wants to jump down into the stream, that would be fantastic. Um, uh, so we are going to be starting out today with a little bit of downtime, since everybody had a little bit of downtime to do all kinds of crazy things. Why don't we start with, since you were, oh, you hate it when we start with you, don't you, Anton? So let's start with yours.
Perfect.
Oh, oh, good. So you found something that's delightful. We love it. They, um, so who is going to go next? At 5 days of downtime, why don't you tell us what's going on with you, Miss Gruna?
Yes. Well, I'm a busy mama, so I couldn't do many research or anything like that. So I had to spend time with my family. So I was playing with Glasha and figuring things out with Orak while I was at home, and that's all I did, or at least that's what I
Oh,
did.
fabulous little time with your baby
Of
girl.
course, we're spending time with my girl.
I love it. And then Athul, why don't you tell us what happened to you? Unless he has decided that he is just going to be uh, out in the darkness.
Yeah, he was vibing. He was staying there, just
I
sleeping.
am. Hold on. I'm having some serious audio issues here.
Oh.
Well, while you are doing that, yeah, Dill, why don't you tell me
Mhm.
what's going on with you?
Yes, Dill took a bit of a trip into the Demon's Bane mountain range, the Screaming Mountains, and found the loudest spots with just screaming from the winds and sat down and he meditated for about 4 days or so, trying to commune with his patron, the ferryman. He was not able to hear a voice or get any real communication, but he did get a few boons from his beloved patron. Um, his armor grew a bit of the scales, and he got a very nice amulet that might come in handy later.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
then he went back and spent 2 days or so just doing some arcane research of his own.
Very nice. And who does that leave? So that just leaves Athul. Is Athul back with us?
Okay, I think I figured it out.
Okay, nice.
And yes, Azul would have spent some time physically exerting himself to increase endurance and
Fabulous.
for
And that's
himself.
all.
And then he would do all
But
kinds of fun stuff.
well, Azul, I mean, fun in his own mind.
Right? I love it. So we've got all right. So it sounds like Gorf needs to chat with Gruna a little bit. Um, so why don't you have that moment?
Um, I look at Glash and yes, just go playing. Yes, Garth? Mhm. The Beyblade? The Beyblade that Luna got.
Oh right.
Ah.
Gruna, give me a an Arcana check to see if you know what he's talking about.
Yeah,
She gets in a lot of fights. The daughter of Bruna. She really needs it. She goes to conscious a lot. Really
24.
useful.
I mean, kids these days. I mean, right?
I mean,
Right.
those kids, they'll be fighting. Yeah, 24 on Arcana.
All right, so you know that this little cute thing that you gave your daughter is a pretty intense magical item.
Oh, yeah. Well, she got hurt once, and I had that, so well, I wanted her to heal quickly. And don't you think she looks really cute with that? Say hi, Glasha. Yeah, I figured. I figured. Don't worry. Sure. Okay, come on. Glasha, come here. Um, and as Glasha comes, I will just tell her, okay, Glasha, Gorf is gonna tell you something. Remember, you have to behave. So, Gorf, just tell her. Kyle, are you gonna do Glasha or should I do Glasha?
No, no, glass jar. Hi.
Your mic can't even pick up that like high pitched.
Oh god, I keep forgetting that that's a thing. Hold on. Hi, how are you? Still nothing. Oh my god, it thinks
well,
that my voice is background noise when I do that.
well, if it helps, last time I did Glasha, she just talked
Hey,
like that, and
hey
that's all.
there, Dwarf.
Hi, Gorf.
How are you?
What do you want from me, huh?
Glasha, what big hands you have!
What do you want from
I'm
little
better to
Glasha?
rip
I'm gonna
your
strangle
skull
you.
in half with you.
Mama said I'm strong.
Vroom,
Oh
vroom.
my god. Yeah, so hi, how are you? Hi, Mr. Gorf. It's my only pretty thing.
Glasha. I look at Glasha and like,
You can hear the glass of his heart breaking. Just
okay, Gorf, you try. Glasha, come here, and I will just lower my height so I can be eyesight with Glasha. I know it's the only nice thing that you had in a while, but remember that I always tell you that we have to be good with other people, and if they need it more than you have to give it to them. And don't worry, because I will buy you more things that are pretty. And I'm sure that Gorf is going to bring it back for you. Don't you think, Gorf, that you're gonna do it? So yeah.
I would like to remind you that on the last adventure, you did purchase a toy for your daughter, and I have not heard you give it to her yet.
Well, yeah, we talk about the Beyblade thingy, but
The water dreidel.
Glatcha, I was waiting.
Oh, the
until
water
you
dreidel?
said- Yeah.
Gonna fire
Nah,
one as well.
it's-
She's gonna connect all of them.
They are collectibles. But I was
Get all
waiting for a
four.
special day, Glasha. But, well, maybe I can. I don't know. Should I tell her, Gorf? While I look at Glasha, like, trying to see what's her. How she's looking when I'm telling her that she has a surprise. Yeah, it is a really big surprise. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's too small.
No, I want to see it, Mom.
Okay. But first, you have to give your pretty thing to Gorf. What do you think? We make this exchange?
I don't know. Okay. All right, Mr. Gore.
Good girl, Pasha. Okay. Go to your dad and tell him that you're now prepared for the toy. For the surprise, I mean. For the big surprise.
Okay.
Have a good one. I love you, Glasha.
All right. Thank you, Mama. All right. So you now have a periaptive wound closure. Well, there you have it. Sometimes you do.
That's cool.
Just a bear with an earring, that's whatever.
Yeah. That's what happened. Okay.
Yeah, the pink suits you.
All right. Fabulous. I love it. So
No
I
problem.
feel like everyone has done their things for downtime. We've figured all kinds of stuff out. And now, it looks like Zugathir and Luna have been sent on a different mission for the time being. And so Corton has grabbed a few people from Joaquin's spiral that he thinks might be useful on our trek. So Felix, why don't you introduce yourself?
Why, yes. Hello. I am Felix. I am a 2 foot tall mouse folk of the soft paw. You see me walking up. I'm in kind of dark, fine clothing with scale mail armor on. I have a lute on my back, a rapier, and a buckler. And besides that, I'm kind of just like lost. I can I do like a perception check to like see who I notice first and I try to talk to?
Yes, so while they're sort of wandering around the camp, the only person you know is going to be a Corton.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just kind of walk in and meander around.
Fabulous. So I am now getting an echo. Is anybody else getting an echo?
I think it's
I
Milos.
am
Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
Okay, does everybody have their um the Twitch stream muted and the Roll20 muted?
We miss you.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's
Milo's
Milo's,
lighting up when you speak.
Yeah.
Okay, Milo, can you make sure that yours is all taken care of over there? Perfect. All right, no more.
Yes.
I'm all right. Awesome.
You
Yay.
took care of it.
Lovely. Thank you. Uh, so,
Sorry about
so the
that. I
first
completely
person
forgot
you
about the
see-
audio settings.
Yeah. So
No
what you see is a Corton is currently working on creating a few new structures around the camp. He is at this point. You see him grab. He. It looks like he's trying to tear down a bunch of different tents. He's just sort of walking through with a stick and just knocking them down, like knocking all the supports down. And he just sort of waves his hand behind him, and all of the debris from the tent sort of like starts following him along the ground. And then when he's got a big pile of tents, you see him start casting something. And you can't really identify the spell, but all of the tents start sort of stitching themselves together into each other, and they turn into this grand, palatial, beautiful tent that is about 40 feet high. And it looks like a place where you might entertain visitors. Um, he then sees you uh, approaching, and he motions for you to come in.
Corton, amazing, just impressive as always. I see.
I know.
Yes.
Now, dear. Do you think you're up to this task? We've
You
already
know,
seen demons and devils and goblins and monsters and all kinds of iron golems and things.
yeah,
All those
you were telling me about that. It it seems pretty treacherous, honestly. But this isn't about me. I've already told you my entire thing. I need this. So yes, I'm up for it. G- Where where are these
Well, I hope
poor
so.
adventures you were talking about? Something about 100 demons?
They'll be here in a bit, dear. I just wanted to get a few things clear with you first.
Yes, darling.
You're getting a bit familiar, aren't you, child?
Well,
Hmm.
you know me.
I do. And I know the mothers very well. So,
Listen, my
first,
connection with the mothers has nothing to do with this. All right? I have since trying to part myself from them and start anew. You've seen the work I've done. I don't know why we keep going back to this.
because no more than a week ago, one of the mouse folk attempted to abscond or force one of my adventurers into signing a contract that would relinquish part of the mine to them. I know the mothers want this. I know exactly how they're going to proceed. And I have, in the contracts, placed certain clauses that ensure you cannot transfer it. Let me be very clear. If you are going to adventure with us and you are going to be part of this community, you will be part of this community and not part of the mothers.
Um, I understand completely. And I put one hand on my chest and put like a kind of Boy Scouts hand up and like Mouse's honor. Just like
Such as it is, yes, dear. Hmm. You will be staying with the others. I have created a barracks of sorts. You shall have your own room. You shall have a place to store items. And remember, you don't own it yet. Anything you find comes to me first, and I will choose whether you may keep it or not.
Oh, this
Yeah.
has been more than generous. I do appreciate your assistance.
Wonderful. Oh, good.
Indeed.
Well, why don't we send you off to play with the other children? And I'm going to speak to the new kid.
All right.
You may go.
Fair enough. And I leave.
All right, and Corton's going to pop his head out and he's going to search and see if Freya has appeared yet. And has
Okay.
she?
Yes, she has walked out into the courtyard all happy, giddy. Like she's just come out of a very fun, comfortable bath.
Oh, so she was like in a river. So you're in a camp right now. There's not a whole lot of baths to be had.
I'm
In the
trying
camp.
to describe her
They'll be there.
mood. Like she's super
Okay.
happy, just
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Corton's going to see you sort of vaguely wandering around, sort of looking at things, and he's going to shout, Freya, over here now.
very Southern Belle type of tone. She's like, yes, just skips along, heading in his direction.
So you enter this sort of palatial tent. He motions to a pile of firewood that's sort of sitting on the ground, a bunch of sort of cracked sticks, and he waves his hand and it turns into a chair in front of you. He says, sit down, please, dear.
I rather inadequately sit down on the chair.
Now,
Not adequate. Elegant.
I've had a
Elegant.
conversation. Yes, dear, don't expect luxuries like this for too long. I've spoken to your parents. Their greed, as ever, dictates their decisions. They think that by sending you here, that they will own part of the mine. I would like to hear from you whether that is the case.
They are very greedy people. And honestly, I don't want money. So whatever I do with that part of the mine, it's most likely going to be to help the people.
Yes, yes, I know. This is a song that I've heard several times. We'll see when you actually start bringing money in whether you decide to just hand it away. Now, understand that the contract that you signed is for you. It's not for your parents. They have not been invited to attend this adventure, as it were. You have, though. Um, their instructions were essentially to ensure that you get to experience a true adventure. So, and he motions to the floor next to him, and there is like a really, really ratty looking like tent and a bedroll, no pillow or anything, just like with holes in it. It looks terrible. He's like, this is your home. You will set it up somewhere outside, and that is where you will sleep. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Now, do you have any questions about what you will be doing inside?
I can assume helping people, right?
Murdering demons mostly, but I suppose in the end that's helping, and that they will no longer be around.
I mean, okay, as long as it helps people make a living and provides work.
Well, essentially what your job is going to be is doing what you're told until the mine is clear. Once the mine is clear, you may do with your portion as you see fit. Is that understood? I don't want you running off trying to feed your bohemian little friends in Joaquin's spiral. God knows it's the most well-fed artist community I've ever seen. Are we clear on this matter, my dear?
I
Yes,
highly
no.
doubt a deception check is gonna help me here.
I mean, you can try.
5 things you don't want to hear your DM say. I mean, you can try. You can certainly try that.
Scary. I don't think it's gonna help, so I just timidly say yes.
Wonderful, dear. Well, it looks like they're about to head down into the mine. Why don't you go introduce yourself to your new comrades? Let them know how you'll be helpful.
Okay.
All right.
Fabulous. So
Uh,
now you're all gathered outside the door to the mine. For the new people, what you see is first, there is a 50-foot tall, stunningly beautifully carved
There.
giant gate that's about 10 feet thick, made of pure adamantium, with a giant crest on the front. That is the entrance to the mine.
bit garish, no?
Ah,
That is quite elaborate.
Eh,
I always thought so.
they're dwarves, yeah. Kind of a bit of a waste of adamantium, or adamantite.
Should we take a round?
Also,
Everyone
how are
sort
you?
of describe the character for the new players.
I think that would be glorious.
Would you like to start, Anton?
Anton always likes to start.
Yeah, I love to try. You know me. I'm always like, I want to go first. All right,
And
sure.
starting things.
So eager.
Yeah. No, I can go first. Sure. You see this heavily cloaked
Well, first,
figure.
before you say anything, the heavens open wide and the gods peer down in concern at the fact that Anton has decided to go first.
Oh,
So,
God!
What?
There's a lightning
So,
bolt
yeah.
just strikes still immediately.
I got like, I wasn't even expecting that.
The first
All right,
three
yes,
layers of
I'm
the seven
sorry.
layers
Go
of hell
ahead.
froze.
Yeah, that's right.
Pigs can suddenly fly.
Yep, they sure can. Now Fenshi can. So yes, tell us, what are you going to do?
All right. Well, see, now I'm nervous to go first. Thanks, guys. You see a thin figure dressed in just heavily dark cloaks, scarves, just a bunch of like pieces of cloths hanging off him, a thick hood that covers most of him. If you're observant, you can see that he has sort of a very gaunt, very pale face or blank, unblinking eyes, lacks a nose. He has always by his side this large scythe with like a lantern hanging off of it. If you're familiar with religion or history, you might even recognize who he is. He is a reaper, it's called, a sort of servant of a entity called the Ferryman. But yeah,
So, so just as far as the lore goes, you would know. Everybody knows Reapers. Each country, including Baland, has their own Reaper. There's one Reaper per country, and because for 1,000 years, um, there was no planar travel, the Reapers were there to mark they would mark dead bodies, and the ferryman would actually take the souls through the barrier to the outer plane so that they could go on to their just reward. So you are familiar, and you know that they are infinitely respected by everyone. No one harms a Reaper. No one gets in a Reaper's way.
Except for people who might not know who they are and just find them scary.
Right.
But yeah, new for the old players as well. He now has sort of a undead, almost skeletal, half alive raven just sitting at the top of his scythe, which is new, and a sort of large tome hanging from his side.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it.
Delightful. All right, Gorf. So what do we see when Gorf shows up? Yeah.
For now.
I love it. What about Gruna?
Yeah. Gruna, you see this orcish woman, a standard size, maybe a little smaller for an orc. She's really skinny, and you can see that she has eye bags. Well, quite noticeable eye bags. And what you will also, the people that knows Gruna would have noticed since the last time that they saw her, is that she has upgraded her clothing. She's not wearing these scraps anymore. She's now wearing kind of a blackish outfit that's, well, quite modest and not really, doesn't seem to be really expensive, but at least it seems to be nice enough. And also what it is also something that he didn't have before is that she has now her left hand covered with bandages from even the tips of the fingers.
Oh no. Well, that's no good. You should be more careful, Gruna. Okay?
Yeah. So clumsy.
All right. And Athul, what about you? What are we seeing?
Ythul is a relatively tall, almost 7 feet tall human-looking individual with dark brown tan and greenish robes, almost giving off a sort of Jedi kind of feel. And his hood always covers his eyes.
And a lightsaber, of course.
And typically, as you approach, you will definitely see Ethul pull out a flask at some point every about 30 seconds and take a
Typically,
swig.
yeah.
Because Ethul is
Drinking
a bit
water,
of an
of course.
alcoholic.
Yeah, Gruna has never seen fuels normally, at least. Gruna doesn't know.
And what do we see when we see little Mr. Felix? Oh.
So yes, Felix. I did describe him earlier, but again, he's a very small bard cleric. He has his lute on a strap around his armor and everything for his back. He's always got his buckler on his right arm and his rapier on his side. You can see he also has like pouches and stuff for different material casting spells and stuff like that. He walks around with a lot of like he's a little like his chin's up. He's trying to make himself as tall as other people, but of course he's doesn't quite measure up.
Pesky physics. It's terrible.
Yeah, a little bit vertically challenged, but he doesn't let that let him down.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Mr. Reaper. So you guys, are you the new adventuring party I'm supposed to help?
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
We are indeed.
you're a big one, eh?
but he's so fluffy.
I'm sure you're just a big teddy bear, right? Okay. Well, I hope we can become friends soon. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to. It's very rare to have another animal folk in adventuring parties these days. I'm glad to see you here. Definitely.
And as you guys are talking, Corton wanders over with Freya. Well, are we prepared? I have opened the door to the third level of the mine. Are we finally prepared to deal with it after that inane jaunt down to Joaquin's spiral?
I believe we are.
God's willing, at least.
I'm very much looking forward to
Gods,
getting to the
I
bottom of this matter.
assure you the gods have very little to do with it right now. Now, this level, according to what I've seen and what I've read of it, it looks like the entire level is going to be a little difficult to navigate. It looks like everything is a puzzle. So just be prepared to use your head. Gorf, you might want to sit this one out. Oh. Most likely, I would guess, but don't strain yourself, dear. Now, do you have is for horses? I'm not sure if you have any in your country. Is there anything that you need from me before you head downstairs?
Mm,
Um,
I don't think so, boss.
extra health potions, maybe.
Did you come unprepared?
Forget I said anything. I think we'll do fine. Look
Yeah,
at this
Yes,
we'll do
team.
I'm
fine.
sure you
We're gonna do
will.
great.
Wonderful. All right. Well, I would suggest that you stop at the table before you head down, and I'll see you when you get back.
Thanks, Corton.
Sounds like a great idea. Let's
Goodbye.
see. Goodbye,
Bye.
Morton.
Oh, and
I will
Corton walks
go.
away.
I will approach a little bit to Gorf and just whisper to him, "Do you need any healing for that burn?"
Oh, damn! What?
It's all
The
right,
fool just
buddy.
rolls his
Listen,
eyes, sighs, and takes a sip of his flask.
listen, Gorf.
I'm slightly smarter than average, bitches.
Gorf, if you were to describe your IQ on a scale from 1 to 20, whereabouts would you put?
Oh, that's rough. I just kind of pull Gorf aside and I say, "Hey, listen, don't let him get to you. I know how Corton can be. I'm not very strong, so maybe we can help each other out. Where I lack, you can pick up, and then vice versa."
Oh, that's a chain.
Athul, Thule will squat down next to the mouse folk. Question: do you know how much you weigh with all of your equipment altogether?
Probably
Precisely.
like
He
I
wants to
actually
cast
don't know.
catapult on you.
It's
Like
been a
that.
while. Are you thinking fastball special? I've heard of this.
Still, you don't ever
Well,
ask
you see,
someone
I'm a
weight.
telepath. I can telekinetically move you around if you're under a certain weight.
Oh well, I think with all my armor and everything, I probably a little bit too much. We'll have to test that maybe.
The DM certainly says that you cannot use Mage Hand to move the mouse around.
Not
But
yet.
what
we
if we
can't.
have 1, 2, 3 mage hands?
Hey, you just wait until I get telekinesis.
Yes, if you
I'll
have
be moving
telekinesis,
boulders.
then yes, that's right.
I'll just ride on Gorf's
Great.
back. That sounds fun.
I'm gonna be
I'm
golf
I'm
people
gonna
for a while.
rule, Gorf, that if you're carrying 600 pounds of anything, probably your hands will be full and you will not be able to fight. So,
A super big back.
you 600 pounds in a backpack probably means you cannot get through doorways. So that's a big old backpack.
Maybe the backpack is what weighs so much. It's just like a really heavy backpack, just really thick leather,
It's
Yeah, and
empty,
you
Because
just
but
you've
it
got a
need it
whole-
for
Yeah.
headers and for
Because you have a
dust.
whole other
Muscle
person in
ups,
there.
though.
Because you've got 4 people in your backpack, is what you're saying.
I got 4 dead bodies.
No. All right, so what are you?
Yes, I am joining you today.
Wait, Freya? Freya Spear?
Yes.
I know you. I've seen you around the town once or twice. You're very generous, I hear.
I very well try my best, despite how my family feels about it.
Of course. Fine. Hopefully we can get along well with the rest of the team.
I believe so. I was trained classically in archery and a few other various techniques.
That's more than me. So, do you want to go to the Heroes Feast and we can talk there while we at least
Yeah,
have some
let's
breakfast?
eat. Starving.
Right,
Let's get
so
acquainted
as
over a
you-
nice meal.
So as you enter the first level of the mine, you see that the level is huge. It's easily 500 feet long and about 400 feet wide. As you see all doors going off to different places, they lead you into this stunningly beautiful room that is covered in tapestries that give you the history of the mine. There is a gigantic table that is laid out for a feast. There's no food on it yet, but everything is made of gold. The goblets, the glassware, the plates, the silverware, everything is made of gold. It's covered in stunningly beautiful, like floral arrangements and flowers. The seats are all made of mithril with cushions on them, as is the table itself, and it is carved obviously by a master. So as you sit down to the feast, suddenly a full 7-course meal just appears in front of you. Each course, as soon as you get done with it, you just tap your plate and it disappears and the next course appears. Everything is just the best food you've ever had. It is so good.
So,
And as you're sitting there having conversations, what do you say to each other?
Impressive, huh? While I look to the Heroes Feast and then.
I just kind of look over the table like, I think this is the most food I've ever seen in one place.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's
for
pretty much
you,
how everybody feels.
as a mouse
Yeah.
folk, suddenly, like as you sit down, the cushions start to bulk up, so that
That's
you are actually
interesting.
sitting at the right size. You're actually sitting at the table.
That's
You don't have to get
nervous.
like a booth or anything. And the plates and the silverware and the goblets all shrink so that they are exactly the right size for you.
Oh, thank you. Thought I was about to have to start stuffing this into many pockets.
One question. You, you, you mouse guy. Is it only a misconception, or do mice really like their cheese that much?
Oh, Hav. I knew someone was going to say it.
I mean, it's the perfect occasion. There's a lot of food, and well, I don't know. I just cut it
Yes,
out.
mice do eat cheese, but it's not like the staple food of mouse folk, okay? Come on. We eat other things too. What do you think we just have? You know how tiny we are? We can't really herd cattle or anything. How do we get the cheese? That doesn't make any sense.
I look at your side of the table and look if there's any cheese around. Like, sure.
I just take like the biggest, like, because obviously there's a block of cheese there. I just take it. I'm just like,
Yeah.
listen, just because we eat cheese doesn't mean that's like the only thing we eat. I just keep stuffing my face with cheese.
And just
yeah,
just so you
sure.
know, just so you know the lore of this, all the animals have different sort of professions. And the mouse folk, they help with the farming.
Oh,
But
Yeah,
it
sure,
is
they
the
do,
tabaxi, the tabaxi are actually the ones that keep the herd animals. So the
okay.
tabaxis are the ones that where you get your cheese from. You get your cheese from the cat.
Cat cheese. Hey,
Is that
never
common
mind.
knowledge for outsiders to know that the tabaxi are the cheese providers?
Well, they're the ones that keep the cattle, and so they not only get the meat, but they also get the cheese.
Yeah, but for Gruna, for example, is it something that she may know that tabaxi?
Oh God, no, no.
All right.
Very few people have actually taken the time to go to the capital of Baland and see the astonishing city that they've built. It's just
Okay.
not a thing that most people do. They it's sort of how people are super awful about the way they think of Africa, how they think like the whole country is a bunch of mud huts, and in fact it is, there are huge
Planning,
cities
yeah.
that are incredibly metropolitan all over the continent. There's people think the same way about balance. They think that it's just a bunch of animals sort of, rolling around in their own
Yeah.
filth and living in holes in the ground. So
Yeah.
No matter
You're
where I
saying
go,
that everything- Sorry.
yeah, I
So
just
Bruno
can't
will
get away
be.
from these stigmas.
no, very
I
sad.
mean, Bruno looks at herself. Tell me about the stigma while she's eating some kind of insectoid type. Well, it's mostly mushrooms and insects that are typical from the place that she comes from.
Oh, gifts?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want, you can attune while you are doing the hero's feast.
So, yeah. Freya, are you good with the spears too? I think I have one spare. Mithril was Mithril?
Mhm.
Mithril spear.
Well,
And I don't think I'm gonna use it.
I don't exactly know how to use a spear properly. I do know enough for if, let's say, a giant creature were charging me, I could use it to protect myself to a degree.
I mean, that's more than me, I guess. So yeah, take it, and I just give you a Mithril spear.
Yeah,
Thank you.
because sometimes you just toss around Mithril friggin' spears. Sometimes that's just what you do. You know?
It's for long though. Wow. So
Yeah.
Very
creative.
apt. I
Very
like it.
nice name. I like it. Very unique.
Uh,
Yes, sir. I can try, I guess. Just because
Ah.
I wouldn't say just because I'm a girl and I look at myself. Okay, yeah, you have a point.
Tiny little Gruna, giant
Yeah,
bear.
like, yeah, we're not like
Let me check real quick.
yeah. I
I
would say that
have
clothes.
spells. I use spells.
I do not have any potions. Apologies. Well, I would just like to add on the topic of healing for our new friends. The normal magical means of healing will not aid me, so spare your spells for the rest of the party, and maybe save a potion or a spare the dying some lesser spell for me. I think they work,
You?
but to a lesser degree.
Yeah.
Half, right?
Yeah. Potions are
Yeah.
half. Spells, healing spells don't work at all.
Yeah.
And do you know
Yep.
any way
All
we can
right.
heal if normal means are not effective enough?
Sorry, what was that?
He's
If you
like
know
an
any
undead,
means
I
that we
think.
can heal you,
Say that again, sorry.
do you know what means to heal you? So maybe I have something for you.
Well, if you potions will have a lesser effect, but if you have any physical means, anything that would help a normal person, bandages,
So,
any
I
ways
do
of
have-
stopping.
magic can heal you?
He does not.
No. I think that like a healer's kit would help since it's like physical, but like magic won't do anything.
I do
Uh,
have a healer's kit.
Nice.
Good.
I do have my own lesser magic of healing myself. It's just not very effective.
Well, I have a daughter. I never assume I will have rest. Let me tell you, Gorf, I like the more assertive Gorf. It's kind of, I don't know, interesting. Nah,
I think
you'll
it's a
get used to
fantastic
it.
idea.
Oh,
Oh, buddy.
Oh,
Heartstrings.
the more you know.
the more you know.
And plus, I personally like saying this out of Gorf.
Mhm. I'd like to take this time to use my inspiring leader feat, and I just want to say, listen, I know, and I've heard from Corton that it's been rough clearing these mines in the past, but I just want you guys to know that no matter what, no matter where we came from, oh wait, so
No,
yeah, and temporary hit points don't stack, right?
well,
No.
Okay,
Hero's
never
Feast
mind, I'll save that
gives
then.
max hit points,
Yeah, it's like
while
another
the
thing.
speech gives temporary. So both
Yeah,
of
I
them
get
would stack.
temporary
Oh,
hit
you're
points.
right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
temporary
You
hit
are
points
right.
Focus
go
on the
on top
combo
of your hit
breaker.
points.
Do.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Wait, so how much do we get?
So yeah,
Well,
it's
let's
I-
see what you all get.
You
yeah.
are inspired. We're fed. We
So
have
you
a
get
plan.
17.
What is this group?
You get
What happened?
you each get 17. Add 17 to your maximum hit points until tomorrow morning. That's a good roll. Yeah.
44 and up for me.
Awesome.
And for inspiring leader, what much do we get?
Yeah, fuck you, Gorf.
How dare
Step
you?
the
Oh
fuck
my
out,
God.
man. Come on.
I'm sorry. So what were you saying, Felix?
So wait, is the 17 from Heroes Feast or is the 17 from my feat?
Heroes.
17 is from Heroes Feast.
Okay.
You give 8 extra hit points.
Okay.
I imagine Bob
So
like, I love your speech, but do you know that we're actually eating, so we don't need it?
no. So we do. So
Oh my God.
I just want to say, no matter where we came from, no matter how we start this journey, we will succeed this in the end, and we will have our goal. That's. I got stopped in the middle. I lost my train of thought, so that's
Do
about as good
you
as I can
hear
No,
do.
bro,
the
no, bro.
people sing,
Now
singing
it's
the
just
song of
music
amen?
montage.
Amen.
Music montage.
Mhm.
That was inspiring.
And I
How
can
much
use like prestidigitation like in the middle of that to like do like the inspiring like drum beats and stuff from that, like the musical tones.
I have a
yes.
violin. Like he's...
Yes, you
Yeah.
can.
I'm not bad, but I don't have any instrument, so nope.
And
I
like
cannot
the tapestry that's behind you starts waving.
Yeah. For honor and justice and everything good and food and that's about it for now. Yeah.
Food will get Dorf's
Let's
attention.
kick some ass.
Yeah, I mean, how much do we heal? Depending on how much I heal, I will be more or less enthusiastic about your
So
speech.
Hero's Feast gives 8 temporary.
So,
Okay,
Thule kind of
and I'm
nudged Gorf.
taking-
He's like, "So are you taking notes on this food that we're getting so you can make mundane versions of this stuff?"
Awesome.
So we
not.
got, you said 8 from the speech?
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes,
Then I'm
temporary.
inspired.
So we
Okay.
got 8,
I'm
17
pretty
max increase and 8 plus. Okay.
So I'm at
That's
48
good.
health right now. That's amazing.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything else that you all want to do while you are enjoying this delightful feast?
While
Yeah, I think I'm still gonna use the my rapier. I think it does a little bit more damage. Attune to it just in case I need it. Oh, yeah, I'll attune to it. Then hold on.
They left immediately as soon as you said that. They just bolted.
Right?
Goodbye.
Thanks for ruining it for everyone, you bastard.
So what does
You know, I
blind
really
sight
like
do?
your game, but now that you
So
cannot
blind
find
So blind sight, what blind sight does is it allows you to identify where creatures are within 10 feet of you, regardless of whether they're invisible or they're hidden, things like that. So you, blind sight is the, oh, this is 30 feet,
Yeah,
so within 30 feet of you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm using the blind sight fighting style, so I can see up to 10 feet blind.
Let's go. These dungeon delvers, they know.
And then we get a wisdom bonus too.
Yeah, you get advantage on wisdom saves
Advantage on wisdom.
and fear.
And disease, I
Yep.
believe. Probably not gonna get sick down there though.
So, what's next? Are we going to actually head down into the mines?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, so
Wow.
as you leave the room, you see that there is that at the exit of the first level that leads down to the second level, there are now new barricades. They look a little iffy, like they might sort of fall down at any minute. And you see a whole bunch of goblins in like really gorgeous like mithril armor that have obviously they have found somewhere in the mine. With like mithril weapons sort of hanging out, like guarding the entrance on the way down. And Flit, the leader of the goblins, he pops up and he says, "Are you gonna go downstairs today?"
Oh, hi,
Yes.
Fleet. Yeah.
We sure are.
"Oh, you come with me. I show you. And
Okay.
he drags you. He takes one of you by the hand and just starts, probably Gorf, and just starts leading him down the stairs into the second level of the mine. And as he does that, hey Freya, we can hear all of that.
I
Just
think it's not.
FYI.
I don't think it's. I think it was fuel there.
Cats.
Oh, really?
It was who?
It might be
It
a
was
Thule.
It's the
I think it was
cats.
the fuel.
Oh, Athul. It's so one of the two.
Yeah, because
Sorry.
it wasn't cat. It was human voices.
Yeah, you're the ones that don't have the camera on, so I'm not sure what's going on there. So he drags you through the market. This is Felix and Frey. It's your first time seeing it. There is a huge market, and in the center of it is like a 300-foot long fountain that spews fire and water and tornadoes and thunderstorms and like rocks up into the air. It's actually a fountain that's connected to the elemental chaos. And so it's constantly shifting and changing and it's stunning. And the ceilings are 100 feet high and covered with these beautiful, multifaceted, multicolored gems that shed light all over everything. So it's this beautiful area, and he just sort of drags you by. You can see that most of the stalls that were in the market are broken. They're like 200 years old. They've just been shattered all over everything. And he takes you through to the door that he kept closed last time, and he pops the gem directly into the socket and then smacks it with a giant blackened hammer, and the doors open up slowly for you, and you enter the third level of the mine.
Well, you ready, guys? Well, you did win
So,
combat with Sally. You really showed her. You really showed her.
What?
oh my god.
There was a not as nice lady that was in the middle of our mission, so I guess that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Twice.
nice.
And then second panzer just in case.
I know she was being a real monster. All right, so as you enter, Flit then runs back up the stairs, sort of gives a quick look around and just exits. So you're left alone down here. And what you see is the air seems to be thick with some sort of mystical power. You see that the ceiling's not as high as the market level, it's only about 30 feet above your head. In the center of the room that you're standing in, you see a beautifully carved, tiered monolith. Around the outside of the room, you see four giant columns that seem to be carved in a similar manner to the upper floors. There's also a large silver door to the west. What do you want to do?
All right. I will take a look at the monolith.
All right. As you approach the monolith, what you see is that there are three tiers with four arms each. So there's 12 little levels that seem to be carved out of it. And each
Mhm.
section is carved with symbols. On each section, you also see a single flower or a bush or some sort of plant that seems to grow in an odd shape. Gruna, since you are looking at it, give me a religion check.
Oh, not my. Not bad.
Cool.
Yeah, Gruna went silly
All
nilly
right.
without looking at anything like, oh, look at that.
Oh, what's this? Oh, what's that?
Oh,
So you have so Gruna has she has now spent enough time in the mines and done enough sort of discussion about things with her family that and there's been enough information that she realizes that these are plants that are actually growing in the shapes of symbols of the dwarven pantheon. You don't really know how they're growing in these shapes, but above this monolith, there is a dodecahedral crystal, and it shines with this beautiful clear light that seems to actually sustain the various plants on the monolith. And what you see is there's a black thorny bush in the shape of the sword of Abathor. There's a group of white gladiolas with orange and yellow morning glories twisting around them to form the symbol of Hala Brightaxe. There's a still living stump of a tree whose grain and knots make it look like an open book, which is a symbol for Dugmarin Brightmantle. The strangely shaped patch of grass and wheat look like a boot, while a strange spiky flower grows up through the center, and that creates Marthammer Duwin's symbol. You see a small pine tree that looks like a mountain with a group of shimmering orchids making the shape of a gem towards the center, which is Dumathoin's symbol. You see a group of bright yellow tulips growing in the shape of a mask, while two deep red tulips seem to make blazing eyes, while you recognize which you recognize as Gorm Gulfin's symbol. A wild grouping of various tropical plants is obviously meant to symbolize Thard Har. You see a small shrub in the shape of an anvil with red, yellow, and orange hollyhocks growing behind it, and that creates the appearance of a still flame atop an anvil, which is the symbol of Moradin. There's a twisting vine of ivy in the shape of a needle with yellow and orange crocuses growing atop it, creating the symbol for Sharindlar. You see two birch saplings that have fallen into each other, seeming to create two crossed axes. So this must represent Clangadin Silverbeard. You find a large stump with two intertwining circles of moon flowers growing in on its face, which should be the sign of Baranor True Silver. And there's a circle of dandelions in bright yellow, and as you stare at them, you see a dwarven face vaguely outlined by shifting shadows. So you know this must be Vergadane's symbol.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's. Yep. Uh-huh. Um, oh yeah. So what you notice is that you also see in the crystal that's hanging in the air above it, the same symbols are carved, one on each facet of the gem. So that's what you see at the monolith.
Is that the first time we see in the mines any religious portrayal of the gods of the dwarves?
No, you have seen there's been religious portrayals on like um on the various columns that you've investigated and in the tapestries and things like that. They're just not central on those. In this one, they are obviously the central thing.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, you guys, if you recognize the symbols, but they are all from the Dwarvish Pantheon, so maybe this place was supposed to be some kind of cathedral or something of this sort.
A large temple, perhaps.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know how they did that with the plants, but well, dwarves showing off, like as always.
Uh,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Can I just do a perception check for like the whole room to see if I see anything like out of place?
so sure, give me a perception roll. Gorf, yes, but a perception, yes. Sorry, I was thinking
21.
Bruno first. All right. So there is with a 21, you first off you see all of the stuff on the central altar, but you also notice that all four of the giant columns are carved with dwarven writing.
Does anybody here speak Dwarvish or can read Dwarvish?
I can.
I know
I
a
can
guy.
read everything.
I was raised by a dwarf.
Nice. We should probably
Yeah,
take a look
we
at what
saw
these
that on the
symbols
bar.
mean. There's Dwarvish writing all over these giant statues.
And what do they
There's-
say, DM?
So the first column describes how the center of this room was the first small altar to all the dwarven deities. And over many decades, the central altar was carved so that each god could be represented and that their followers would have a place to lay offerings.
I'm sorry, my audio was really fucking with me. Can you start over?
So it describes how the center of the room was the first small altar when the mine was established, and that over many decades it was carved so that each god could be represented and their followers would have a place to lay their offerings.
So they carved these over centuries for each god. They're basically meant for offerings.
Really? If
And that's the
the
first
case,
column.
then these plants here seem kind of out of place, no?
Yeah, maybe in the other column there's something about it. Can you read them if you?
Now let's read more.
Are you going to go over to the second column?
I think so.
It's just,
Okay, so
the grocery
this
list.
column, so it shows the building of several larger temples on this level, some to the good gods of the dwarves and some to the darker gods. There's a mention of a path of light and a path of darkness in several places. And in some panels, there seems to be a conflict between the two sides, and that the side of the good gods won.
Interesting.
Give me a who's looking at this?
Ithul and I.
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, both of
Can
you
I
give
vote?
me pick either a religion or history check. If you are like one that you are in fact proficient in.
And I'm
I
and I'm
mean, if
helping
they
him
are
too.
looking, can I give them guidance?
You are not reading it.
Yeah,
right
but
now.
I know that they're reading it, so maybe they need some help.
The guidance spell.
Yeah, the guidance spell.
I'm
Whatever you
going
say,
to
Kyle.
say if they request it, yes.
Yeah, we're not going to say anything. So he's new with guidance, so maybe you don't know that
My
she even
sheet's just taking
Alright.
forever to load. I'm sorry.
So that's okay. We got a 19, which is enough on the religion check. So
Okay.
you there is it seems like there are on some panels that there are sort of little things scrawled around the edges of some things. And on one of them you see that the followers of the good gods actually hid the dark temples away somehow. And that there is that, but doesn't really say anything else about it. Are you all going to continue reading?
Sure. Next pillar.
I think
All
so.
right. On the third pillar, the story shows the temples thriving and working with each other to advance the dwarven cause throughout the region. The temples begin to become flooded with riches, which they use to amplify the power of their deities in the region.
Is this just the
And-
light temples then?
Um,
I keep
It
losing
looks
audio.
like
It's pissing me off.
It looks like, yes, it's mostly the light temples. The dark temples don't really say much on these last two pillars. And on the fourth pillar, it shows a story of raiders attempting to steal the wealth of the temple. Who's got the echo right now?
Milo.
Sorry. Okay, all right. There's eventually the temples began to defend themselves, and each one became a trap to anyone who didn't understand the will of that particular god.
Cool. I
A
definitely
warning.
share that with the group.
All
What was the
right.
last panel
And you
about?
don't
Again, sorry.
you don't really see anything else in the room, but you do get a sense that there is something that you're missing.
I will I will send out my new familiar, the little undead raven that's resting on my scythe, and it's just going to like fly around the room, scan for anything we might have missed.
Sure, it's still, even it just communicates to you that there's some sort of darkness here, but you're not sure what it is.
There's something we're
I will
missing.
give you a DM note. You won't be able to do anything with it yet.
Okay.
All right, let's figure this out, guys, right here, right now. What are we?
Right?
Let's spend an hour on this, guys. Let's go.
Yeah, we're not leaving this room
Yeah.
until we know.
I say we.
Can we go, please?
Can we go, please? All right. I think if we wait any longer, Gorf's gonna kick this door down himself, and then we won't have anybody else to defeat.
Yeah. I mean, we have to be careful. If Dylan, if you read correctly, there's something about the path of darkness. I hope we don't take that one.
I think we've learned as much as we can from this room right now. I think we need more information from rooms that might be ahead before we can do anything else in this room.
I agree.
What you say is wise.
So, Gorf, what does your bear instinct tell you? Ah, no, there's only one door. Sorry, there's no much instinct. There's no much instinct to be around. Wow! Yes.
All right,
Great
let's go
leap.
through.
You did it.
I thought there were 2 doors. Okay.
All right. So
There's-
as you
Ah, no lo sé.
can you walk through the door right now? It looks like I did not put a barrier there. Yes. Okay. You should be able to go through. All right. So as you enter this room, now that we've done an enormous amount of exposition,
You'll get a little more.
you walk into this one. You see a symbol. You see a giant shield on the wall. The room contains 3 perfectly carved statues of dwarven warriors. There are 3 racks of weapons and 3 stands with shields and armor. The weapons and armor look more decorative than useful. There's a giant adamantine shield in front of the exit. On the shield is the emblem of Gorm Gulfin. It is etched in gold, and the eyes are giant rubies. Under the symbol is a sentence in Dwarven, and it reads, "Only those who help the dwarves defend themselves may pass." Maybe, maybe,
Nah.
Ask real nicely.
maybe maybe I don't wanna. Maybe you're crusty. You're crusty. Hold on. I'm gonna.
You're
All
actually
right.
so
Freya.
shocked about the view.
I'm gonna be Gorf. You can do stuff with it, and Gorf. Fabulous. So that's Freya. See if you can move Freya around. I don't know what's going on with this.
Well, it doesn't matter as long as they tell us where they will
Yeah.
be in combat. I don't think it's.
Yeah. Totally.
Don't even.
Try to set it to everyone.
One sec. Yeah. So, Freya. All right, Freya. We are going to edit you, and can be done by all players. All players. All right. Can anyone? So that's there now. Can anybody
Yep.
move Freya around?
I can move Freya, yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Then a fool. I'm going to do the same thing.
I think
Yeah,
someone
you're
else
right,
did too.
that's
Fuck you, Gorf.
That was just
Rude. You're rude.
You're not allowed.
All right. So you should have that now. So does anybody have any questions about the description?
No.
I'd like to take a look at the weapons, I guess.
There are 3
Okay.
weapons for 3 statues, right?
So each weapon seems to have a ruby embedded in the hilt. And again, they look more ornamental than anything. On the racks, you see 3 battle axes, 3 maces, and 3 spears.
3 of each. The statues are identical between them.
You what?
Are the statues identical between them?
Yeah, so the 3 statues are all identical.
Mm.
These guys. They do.
Do we find any like the hands are in a pose for holding like the weapons that we're seeing, like if they're like this, so it's easy to pop them in there?
Well, you can.
Yeah. I think it's
Alright,
looking for a
sounds like a
specific
reasonable
answer, though, isn't
explanation.
it?
I mean, there are 3 types of different weapons, so maybe there's a combination between them.
I'm with you.
That'll be helpful.
Okay, then you
So-
can follow me around and we'll take a look at the room so we can see if there's any other thing that we can find.
Yeah, so give me
I'm up
investigation
inspecting
check.
the large.
Okay, I
I'll
will
take an
use a
investigation
guidance
check.
from myself. As you see, as Bruna's hair will like float for a little and then just came back to normal position.
Kyle, could I
Investigate.
make a check to see how much I know about this god?
Yes, give me a religion check.
And what I have.
I'll do a. I got a 15 on my investigation.
All right.
I got
You just
an
see
11.
exactly what was described. So it's the 3 racks of armors, the 3 racks of weapons, and the 3 statues and the giant adamantine shield with the 2 rubies.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, I mean, let's use
and then
any.
Dill, what you have learned about what you know about Gorm is that he's a lesser dwarven deity of vigilance and defense. He's a patron of those dwarves that protected their home and kin from external attack.
All right. And you said there were 2 rubies in the shield.
Yes.
Is that a part of his mark
It's
or?
his symbol. It's his symbol
Okay.
is the shield with the 2 with the rubies.
I think so. There's a weapon rack and there are shields that we can move around in this room, right?
Yeah. They are just available for you to do. At least they look like they are available for you to do whatever you want with.
I'll say to the group,
Echo.
these dwarves are defenders. Maybe hand them the shields.
Yes, but
Yeah, I'd
which
say that-
ones? There's 9 shields here, are there not?
Yeah. So there's 3 tower shields, there's 3 large shields, and there's 3 bucklers.
And
I
what
think
type is the large emblem?
Pardon?
What type of shield
The
is emblem?
yeah.
The emblem it looks like a large shield, but it is also about 15 feet tall.
Okay,
Right.
Gore, you're the one that is more suited for battle and know about shields and weapons. I guess that each different shield have a corresponding weapon of choice. For example, lances maybe be better with the largest shield. Do you know anything about it? So maybe we have to equip the dwarven statues with the most appropriate shield and weapon. I'm not really good with weapons.
You've got battle axes, maces, and spears.
Well,
Okay, let's try
let's see
that.
if we can give the statue some of the tall or the large shields. That looks like it kind of fits with this god's symbol.
Agreed.
Then there's another version. Should we equip everyone with the same shield or each shield for different weapons in different dormants? Which option do you prefer?
There's 3 of each type of shield, so I'm
And 3
kind of
weapons.
assuming that, and weapon. So I'm kind of assuming that either you're right and we need to give, yeah. Let's try all 3, a different one of each, or all 3 the same kind.
Oh, right. What are we gonna do?
Yeah, we will equip.
Battle axe with a
Please.
buckler?
Battle axe and the buckler don't sound like they would fit too well together.
I mean, I'm holding a buckler, and it
Yeah,
looks like
so
a
buckler would go
huge
well
weight
with a
on me.
one-handed weapon better than a two-handed one.
Yeah, it's not like a great axe. It's the one.
Oh.
One. Yeah, it's a hand axe. Yeah. Let's try this combination for now. I mean, he's a
But
soldier.
would Gorf know what? I mean, you would know what you have been taught, but what do you know about dwarven culture and history?
Yeah.
Can I roll like a history check to determine it?
You what?
Can I roll like a history check to see if I can figure out the standard arrangement of weapons and shields that dwarves would use?
Yes, give me a history check.
I would
Can
like
I
to feel
provide assistance?
Actually,
If you're all talking about it, then yes, you can do it with advantage.
okay, thank you.
All
Thank
right.
God.
Thank God
Thank
for
God you have
you.
advantage.
Your studies did not really include dwarven combat techniques, so you do not know.
Oh,
I
let's do
studied
that.
all kinds of different lore in the Bard's College.
No, I know. I'm saying that he was raised by a dwarf, and his studies did not include that particular piece of information. So no, you do not know exactly how these would be paired.
I may have studied that particular battle where the dwarves defended themselves in the Bard's College or in the library that I spent my time in.
Well, you can give me a. Well, you guys were helping Athul, so I'm going to say that he was the one that did the roll. So we're not going. to I'm
Yeah,
not going to allow
okay, that's
anybody else to
Right,
do.
but can I do my own roll?
Yeah, let's try the first option we had. So okay, have me moving the weapons. If I can,
So
Bruno
so
will be
just
hesitant.
sorry, just to answer Felix's question, um, if people are all helping and you get advantage on a roll, then that's the only roll that you get to make on that
Gotcha.
particular subject. If everybody's doing their own individual rolls, then you can do individual rolls.
Hmm.
So yes, what were we saying? We're gonna do something. We're gonna move from the conversation phase to the action phase.
Yes. I think we're just going to start trying.
Okay, so all right, which statue are you going to try? Okay. So as you set the tower shield, sort of you try to sort of set it in front of it. There doesn't really seem to be a place for it. So like you sort of leaned it up against the dwarf and it just sort of falls down on the ground. Yeah, they're all three statues are identical.
I say we use the large shields.
All right, which statue are you going to try a large shield on?
Um,
Or do you want to continue playing with the tower shield? Okay. All right, what are you going to try? You gonna try a large shield? The same thing happens. It just sort of falls to the ground.
Try the last one. Just
third time's the charm.
in case.
All right. And as you put the buckler in front of the dwarf, it just hangs in the air directly in front of the dwarf, and you see one of the rubies on the shield light up.
Okay, that's good. I think.
Let's try a buckler on the next one.
Letter.
All right, and it just sort of falls to the ground.
Okay, each one has a different shield.
And it just falls to the ground again.
The last one then.
And it floats
I
in
take
front
the,
of the statue. And the second eye glows red. And you see as part of the shield lowers into the ground, and there's a third ruby
Ooh.
Okay.
where the mouth would be on the face. You
No, it
mean the
was
tower shield?
We're
Yeah,
done
that
with
was
the.
the one we were missing.
So
shield on
the
last
tower
statue.
shield, the tower shield begins to float in front of the dwarven statue, and you see the ruby shine, light up, the third ruby, and the entire shield starts to just creep down into the floor of the temple, and a silver door is revealed.
Well, since they had to
Nice.
defend themselves, I guess that the weapons were not for defending; it was for attacking.
What would you like to do now?
Go through the door.
Show someone check the door for
Can I
traps.
check for traps?
You can check for
Jinx.
traps. Give me a roll.
I'll give him guidance. You will feel as it's not really divine, but some presence that is helping you out with your task.
All right. And so give me a roll. Can you roll here on the roll 20? There's a die.
Oh.
There you go. Yes. So, oh dear. So Freya, so you get a 10. You do not find any traps. And before you open the door,
No, it's intelligence for checking the
Yeah.
traps.
No.
Unlocking would be nice.
so
Yeah.
so before we open, I'm going to say let's take a 5-minute break here and use the restroom. If somebody can sing a little ditty to keep the fans
What would you do with a drunken sailor? What would you do with a drunken sailor?
Just put on the do 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 do
Oh.
do do.
Yeah, use some elevator music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's not working. Fuck off. You will see my room.
Well, I guess I'll be here to entertain the chat. How's it going, chat?
You're
Yep.
not the only one here, you see.
Oh, I couldn't tell because I can't see you in the thing.
Ah, I understand that one.
Yeah.
I had finally got Roll20 to work, so now I can see everything.
Oh, sweet. Perfect. So can you move
Yes,
your character around?
I still cannot move my character.
Oh,
I-
we'll have to get that fixed for you. But at least you
Yes,
can see stuff.
That's quite all right. I can see now, so I can use my phone for what I typically use my phone for. And no, before anybody says that, no, I am not looking up lewd pictures.
I don't think anybody said that. But good to know.
Oh, come on. I had to
I'm
throw that little
I'm
joke out
looking
there.
up a lot of lewd pictures just right this second.
Right.
I'm just spamming. I'm spamming everybody with really weird porn. That's what I'm doing.
That's all I look up. Are you kidding me? I'm a bard.
I mean, who
That's
doesn't like a
right.
good tentacle porn every now and then, right?
Do you? I
What
want
the
to
fuck is this
know whether
picture
or
you
not,
just sent
as
me,
a
Kyle? What
bard,
is this?
you have created like little shows where you actually narrate the naughty pictures to the audience.
Oh, of
Not the
course.
pictures?
You know, there's shows of all kinds. You know, there's shows where I narrate the hentai and all that stuff. There's, you know.
Oh wow!
Oh, everybody
Oh,
just
so
joined
you
back
work
at
for
that perfect
Pornhub.
time.
I'll be back in a second.
So you narrate naughty things. I like it.
Yeah,
He's a filthy whore.
I am. It's true.
Well, that's the way we
Listen,
like him.
I may be small, but I'm big where it counts. Okay,
In your heart.
in my
In the
heart,
heart.
exactly.
Yeah.
Look. 2 foot
That's
10 inches,
right.
and yes, those are separate measurements. Just saying.
You're gross.
I mean, that would be hard to
I'm
balance.
sorry. Yeah, that's obscene if that's the case. Like that's just I don't it's one of
Maybe
those
you're flat
things
a little bit.
where typically that would be like, when someone starts discussing size versus height, like sure,
Listen,
that's
he
an
walks with a bit of a limp, and
interesting
now you
image.
know why.
Oh no. he can he can just sort of like lean forward, no problem.
He's just a tripod, He just,
Yeah.
when he short rests, he just sits there like a tripod.
Well, it's
He just has,
canon now.
It's
you
canon
know?
now. Oh God!
he has a second
Yeah.
baby, I guess.
Listen,
So
they don't
it's,
have reduction surgeries in D&D, so I'm just saying.
No, they sure don't. And you have a tail, so
Yeah.
you've got you're a very stable object because you've got 4 legs. Really,
Oh,
is what we're saying.
Gorf's a little intimidated, which is weird. He's the Oh yeah, we are live. How's our chat doing?
um.
Talkative
What the
bunch,
fuck,
eh?
guys?
I mean, we do not have a lot of followers yet, so it's fine. Like we are
Eventually.
establishing ourselves.
I am sure they are completely enjoying our conversations so far.
I would assume so. I would assume that they're being glorious. So, all right. So you are now at the silver door. What are we gonna do?
Is it locked?
It is not. Just like the first door.
I'm just gonna say not it.
Who would like
Ah.
to open them?
All right.
I'm backing up. Backing up. Beep. Beep.
Yeah, Garf said to me that I have to be safe, so I'll be safe.
I'll stand in front of Gruna since that's our
Protect Mama
teams.
Gruna.
All right. You should be able to enter the room. All right. Because Gruna explained all of the different symbols of all the different gods in the first room, you all recognize that this looks like the temple of Clangadin Silverbeard. And the room is long and narrow, with walls of polished stone like the rest of the mine. Running through the center of the room is what looks like a sparring area filled with sand. At the western end of the room is a huge crested shield with 2 large axes crossed behind it. Across from you is another door. As you enter the room, you see 2 figures get shoved out of the doorway opposite you. They're clawed, fanged, bearded fiends, each with a wicked glaive.
We know those. One got smashed.
And hold on just a moment, and I am going to.
Maybe we can talk to them. And Garf's like, no, I don't want to talk anymore. Ah! Like red, just. Is he?
Per long
Right,
rest.
and can you guys see the fiends?
Yeah,
Yep.
they're in the right top right corner over there.
Fabulous. Wow, rude.
That's what they think.
Okay.
Fiends?
Immediate initiative.
Yes, please give me a little bit of initiative. That'll be grand.
Quad up. I'm right near you.
Okay. Sorry.
Bless you.
Again. Ay,
Oh, that's natural 1.
15, not
How
bad.
did I get the highest roll with a 5?
How did I get 2 zeros? That's weird. I'm going to try that again.
Okay, Gruna's higher than me,
Mm,
so
phone
far the
stop
bards are
lagging.
going first. Perfect.
Let's go.
I rolled an
Well,
11.
this bard has some secrets up their sleeve.
We gotta,
I
we
got a
gotta pop me and
natural
you
1,
later.
and I still rolled better than Gorf.
Yep. That's a thing. It's a thing.
What do you want?
Little Gorf.
Hey, what do you want to walk
Oh,
in?
sorry.
Someone's gonna have to put me on the turn order since I can't click my own token.
Alright.
You
Oh,
are.
it's you.
Fuel is the first one.
Bray got a 19.
And Freya, it's also really good. Fast bitches.
All right, let's order this up.
5.15.
Jesus Christ, that's
What?
far away.
Yeah.
It's
You'll have to
within
wait.
range of my bow. I know what
Yeah.
I will be using.
Oh, hold on. Let me.
Too far away even for
Oh,
Eldritch
he's
Blasts.
changing.
Oh yeah, I know. If only I could use
All
that.
right.
Oh wait.
And there we go. We will just add that. There we go. Now I've got all of them. Okay. So so who am I missing? I am missing
Freya.
Azul
Phil
and Freya.
Yeah. Which are both the first and the second, I think.
All right. So we'll add you. And where is
That little mouse.
is that
What
Azul?
the Kyle?
Chibi.
By the way, according to the spell, my familiar rolls its own initiative, but I think it would be easier if it just goes with me, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll
that's me.
be. That's fine.
Too many initiatives in combat.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna put some
I'm
music to
going-
myself. I want the action.
All right, and Freya
Oh, yeah.
Freya is first, and then where is Azul's? There's Azul.
No, I think it's
All right.
Yul is first actually. Oh. Did he get
Fucking
another?
hell.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, so the bearded devil will go first. And Azul, where were you in the order? He was 20? Okay, so you'll go after Freya. Great. All right. Oh, okay. All right. There we go.
I mean, you don't. If you put the numbers,
All right.
you can use the order automatically. I'll show you next time.
There's all right. So we have got bearded devils. The first one, so they look super surprised at what's going on. They've just been shoved out of this door. You saw sort of like the face of something humanoid, but you're not sure exactly what it was. And they are sort of pounding on the door. They don't really notice you quite yet. So, Azul, it is your turn.
He'll just kind of crouch down, dip his hand into his own shadow, and just kind of into his own mind say "Ferrum Umbra" and pull up a blade of darkness straight from the shadows.
Ooh, look
That's
at
cool.
you.
Fancy.
And now, what are you going to move
That's
anywhere?
a bonus action. And you said that they don't notice me yet, so what's the lighting level in this area?
It is so everything on this level is considered bright light. It's lit by the same sort of crystals that light all the other levels of the mine.
All right, so tertiary effect does not apply. So I am just going to give this Shadow Blade a nice toss at the closest bearded devil.
The closest bearded devil is 150 feet away from you.
Oh.
170. Sorry, 170 feet away.
Well, why would he have gone all the way up into the room and then all the way over to the left, though? Like he is. He probably would just be right in front.
Yeah.
Sure, that's
doing
fine. We can have him right there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, then it didn't matter.
You can always prepare your actions so when they come
So,
to range.
What are we going to do? If we're creating a lot of dead air, actions are going to start happening for you.
Yeah, I don't think it's hearing us, so let's just keep him for now at least.
Okay, so he will hold his turn, and we will move along to Freya. What are you going to do, my dear?
Alright, let's see. I'm good. I can measure well within range of my bow. I get this sharpshooter.
All right. So what are we gonna do? This is combat. You got 6 seconds
I am
to
going
make decisions and do things.
I'm going to shoot
Come
my
on.
bow and arrow at the closest demon thingy. Forgot what
right.
they're called already. That's an 18 to hit.
Give me just a moment.
Yeah, surely.
An 18, in fact, does hit. Yes.
Maybe we can talk to the. Oh, never mind.
Maybe the friend.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. 4 damage.
You what?
4
I
damage.
deal 4 damage.
4 damage. All right. All right. And this bearded devil spins around, totally not expecting an arrow attack, and yells at his friend in some sort of language you don't understand. Unless does anybody speak Fiendish?
I speak the devil one. Are they devils?
They are.
And
They
I do
are.
understand them, yeah.
All right. So he says, "We've got bigger problems." And now they both turn to you,
Yes, you
and
do.
they are ready. They are not scared of you no more. Anything else, Freya? Sure.
I also go into sneak and try getting behind them.
Okay. Give me a stealth check with disadvantage because you are in bright light and they are staring at you.
There's really nothing to hide behind here.
They're-
Behind the
well,
dwarf.
well.
Not gonna
If,
be easy.
now, here's the rule in my games. If you give me an astonishing description of what you are doing, I will probably let you do it. But it has to be incredible and creative if you're in a situation like this. So tell me,
I just
Freya,
close my eyes,
how are
so
you going to
if I
sneak?
don't see me, if I don't see them, they don't see me.
That's right. Good. Perfect. Yes.
I start off going to go behind these people by jumping into the sand like a fish.
Put your
Okay.
hand up
That'll
your head like
work,
an ostrich.
but I'm going to try swimming through the sand.
All right. So the sand is only about like maybe 3 inches deep. Do
It
you
is deep enough
dive?
to...
Hold on. Hold on. Do you dive into the sand like it's water?
I hope.
Say yes. Just say yes.
Yes.
Please. Please.
Yes.
All right. You,
Do a barrel roll.
you take 4 bludgeoning damage as you throw yourself on the ground.
That's awesome. It's sparring sand. And this person just
you are you you are yes you are so you are now here. Um, the all right now you are in fact covered in sand now, and you have and there is blood pouring down the front of your tunic because you smashed your nose really hard.
Oh.
That's fine. More, sand,
So
more
now-
blood means more sand sticks to me, making it harder to see me. Act of
Okay.
camouflage.
There you go.
Okay. I am. I'm going to. So,
Very
so what I'm
interesting
going to
technique.
say, because you are a rogue, I'm going to say that you get up a little embarrassed, but then you actually realize that your long hair which is currently in a ponytail, could be useful. And you pull your hair out of the ponytail and fill it with sand, and then you shake your head, and it actually creates a little sort of screen in front of you where it doesn't give you much cover, but it gives you a quarter cover.
Well, better than nothing, that's for sure.
That's better than nothing.
So there you go. And delightful. Now, Bruno, what are you going to be doing?
So first of all, first time I use this feat, you will see as Gruna will start glowing a bluish tones into his left hand that is covered by these bandages, and her eyes will start to glow in the same color as she does the Tales from Beyond. And I have to use my bardic die, which is a 6 if I'm not mistaken at this level. And I will determine who is going to accompany me in this mission. So let me do that. That's a 3. So, friends. You recite the tale of a friend who found each other in the afterlife. A target and another creature of its search can see if it regains hit points. Okay. So, I don't know if that should be seen by all of you, but Gruna will start to see like two, a female and a male appearing on front of her. They look like phantom-like, with really difficult to tell them from the surroundings, as they are whispering their story and how they got separated when they were younger. And after that, having this scene, you will only see Gruna's eyes glowing with a bluish tone, and I will move a little bit and prepare my action with an Eldritch Blast.
Ooh, look at you. Blasty, blasty.
Blasty.
All right.
As in my right hand,
Anything else?
a green flame will appear. And whenever the bearded demons, the first one gets in range, I will throw my Eldritch Blast at them.
And what's your range? It's 100 feet, 90 feet, something like that?
120.
120 for Eldritch Blast.
Yes,
120? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so where is Gruna right now?
Right.
Gruna is
Let me move her. I think
there.
here is going to be okay. Yeah.
Okay. So 120 feet. So when they get to that sort of square there. All right, cool. I shall remember that. All right, next we've got Felix the Mouse.
I guess for now I'll just. Well, I don't really want to move closer because I don't want to be targeted. I guess I will hold my action for if they get within 60 feet of me, I will cast Toll the Dead.
Okay.
And attack them with that.
Fabulous. And what kind of damage is that?
Necrotic.
Is that necrotic?
Yeah. Necrotic damage.
No, yes. Evil.
Hello?
It's just I think he left. I think he doesn't like us anymore. I think it's Anton's
Ooh.
fault.
Oh,
And
No, I
you
think
should be ashamed of
told you
yourself,
it was
Anton.
necrotic damage. I think.
What?
You're no.
I muted myself after. Okay. But it's necrotic.
Okay, cool. All right, so you are preparing your action.
Yeah.
Gonna beat the crap out of some demons, all right? Well, this bearded devil here, who is just not having it, so
There I am.
he runs down and then
Come here,
So-
little bitch.
Garuna, give me an attack roll.
Yes, I will.
And Eldritch Blast is force damage, right?
Yeah, so that's 14 to hit.
A 14 to hit.
Yeah, not
Well,
much.
yes, it does hit.
Nice.
Give me
Then
some
it's
and 3 damage.
yeah, 3. Not very nice, but at least it's more than I did before in combat. So you see as Gruna, as the bearded demon steps into the area that she believes that she has enough range, you would see as this blue flame bursts from her hand, and this um, skull will follow the creature and hit him.
Yeah,
And
and you see the creature sort of see the flame and laugh at you, and then suddenly the skull hits, and he's like, "Oh, what is this?" And then it sort of stops him in his tracks. All right, he did. All right, and now it is
Psych.
Dill's turn, isn't it?
Indeed. I will just look to Gorf and I'll ask, should I use one of my bigger things or save that for later? You're the tactician here. Okay. So I'll just I'll take one step out. I'll also do an Eldritch Blast. So this sort of dark
Ooh.
energy forms inside the lantern hanging from my scythe, and I slam the scythe into the ground. The dark energy flies out towards the closest devil.
All right, give me an attack and some damage.
Ooh, 12 to hit.
So as you attempt to catch him in the line of fire of your eldritch blast, he looks at you, raises his glaive, and just deflects it at the last minute, and smiles at you with rows of jagged teeth.
come on, dude, it's my
Anything else
first
for
Eldritch Blast
you?
and already doing better. Come on.
Um, since Gorb set up teams for us, I'll back up and I'll get sort of in front and to the side of Gruna, since that is the team
Fabulous.
we were picked, and that is my turn.
All right, Gorf, what are you going to do? And what's the range on the javelin? So disadvantage. Oh, look at you. Okay. And a 17 does hit. Look at that. Oh, damn. Okay. So you see you see the devil try to sort of knock the javelin out of the way, and instead it takes off like a little bit of his beard. Instead, you hear him just scream in pain. Anything else from you? All right. Well, as this
My apologies.
Quite a specific.
So the other one, hearing the scream, runs as fast as he can to go join him in combat. And now it is a fool's turn.
Can someone measure the distance between them for me? Between us and them?
Everybody.
Oh my god.
Someone.
How much?
$95 and 100 feet.
Yeah, I was under the
Sure,
impression they were
right.
right across the hall when I was trying to throw my shadow blade at them.
Mm.
So what's the range exactly?
100 or 95.
Well then, the Thule will just move 20 feet towards them. And
Okay.
that'll put me within range to, with my hand that's not holding the shadow blade,
Oh.
a warbling mass of energy starts to form in it. And
Yep.
we'll
What's going
launch
on?
chromatic orb.
Ooh,
Hell
look
yeah.
at you.
And he's gonna make it
Would you
lightning.
pop that? Okay. Would somebody pop chromatic orb up for me? Awesome.
Do you have
Do you have
camera
do you have the
components?
diamond?
That's
Ooh.
expensive component, yeah.
I have arcane focus to replace it.
No, but when the
Arcane
component
so
has
hold on,
price
Guillermo.
attached,
Guillermo.
Yeah,
So
yes.
arcane foci will only replace not like things that are worth less than 25 gold. So
Things that are components that aren't worth gold.
Exactly.
so you do have to have the diamond in order to cast that spell, sadly.
Okay, never mind then. Full range forward then. And then I will just use this instead.
A little chaos
Would click
bolt.
it.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Give
A
me
tiger rating.
all right. Give me a roll, or do you want me to roll for you?
Yeah, go ahead and roll it for me.
Okay. So
It's
force.
going to be
So
a complicated dice set.
force. It is force damage. And we will do another one and 3. So it is fire damage and force damage. And which one are you hurling it at? That guy? So the lower one or the upper one?
My audio keeps breaking out. Yeah, we'll do the force damage. The closest one to me from my range.
Okay. So let's see what kind of damage we do. So it's a what? It's a 1d8 of each and then 1d6.
Yes.
So there's 8 force damage, 8 fire damage, nice, and 5 force damage. So you see the 2 bolts hit, and the first one seems to hit him, and you can tell it did some damage. The fire doesn't seem to do anything to him at all. He just sort of laughs.
So it's all
in
supposed to be
between.
force. It doesn't divide it up. You choose which one of the damage types it is.
It's random.
Oh,
I think the
Okay.
damage is random. I think
No,
you're doing
like
it
you
right,
roll when you're
Kyle.
rolling the d8s for the damage. Each d8 corresponds to a different
choose
damage
one
type
of the
based on the
d8s.
number.
Yes. Okay. So it's all. So you do 16. So you do 21 damage. So he is pissed off at you now.
We'll just smirk at him. That's my go.
All right. And now Freya, what's going on with you?
I'm assuming I'm hidden a little bit by the sand still.
So you are not being stealthy at all. There is no chance in this bright light that you have any stealth, but you do have you have enough sand in your hair that you can create a tiny little sort of bit of confusion, so you can have quarter cover if you use it right.
We'll save the quarter cover for later on. I have a feeling that'll come in handy.
Now,
For now, I will shoot another arrow at this guy.
okay, and what is the range on your longbow? I'm assuming it is.
Let's see real quick.
It's way further than that.
Yes,
I'm wondering if it's well, I'm wondering
120 feet.
is your short range?
The short range for my short bow is 80 feet.
If you have a
So-
sharpshooter, you don't take the disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay, fabulous. Okay, cool. So, great. Which one are you going? Are you going? Are you going against the upper one or the lower one?
I'm going against the lower one.
Okay. Give me a tag and damage.
Ooh, that's a crit.
Ooh, look at you! Give me
Oh,
damage
shit.
roll.
That's 10 damage.
All right, so you do 10 damage. You got a crit. So tell me what you did to do something so delightful.
I steadily take aim with my bow and arrow. And I loose the arrow. It flies nice, straight, and even, entering through his nose.
Ooh.
Gross. So
Keep on go-
so if it actually went through his nose, one way it would kill him, which it did not. But he turns his face, and just as he's turning his face, the arrow actually rips through his nose and tears it clean off. So he now has no nose. It is super gross.
Just
That's,
like me.
That's disgusting.
Ugly
Yeah, you
looking
Voldemort ass.
monster.
And anything else you'd like to do to this now suffering poor little devil?
Don't say poor little devil. It's a
I'm sorry,
devil.
they technically haven't done anything to you, and you
Yeah.
are trying to murder them.
They looked
No.
aggressive.
Oh
You literally
wow,
said
okay.
For us to
That's
do
super
anything.
racist.
Yeah,
I wanted to
super-
talk to them.
super
I wanted to
racist.
talk
We
to
were
them.
told to clear them out.
Yeah, well, yeah, so all bearded devils are exactly the same. That's racist too.
I mean,
Oh my god.
when it comes to the devils,
Oh, that's it.
So anything
my
else?
turn.
Okay, then Gruna. What are you going to do, Miss Gruna?
Gruna will be kind of struggling since the voices in her head at first were, well, kind of faint, talking about their story, but they're just repeating themselves and whining about they were separated for such a long time. So she will be kind of almost having a headache while people don't know exactly what she's seeing, and try to cast another Eldritch Blast like, oh, shut up! And use an Eldritch Blast to the same monster than before.
Okay,
Which
give me a
is-
tag and damage.
That's a 10 and 1 damage. Let's go. It's too distracting.
And yeah, and he just looks at you and he's like, "You got the voices, don't ya, bitch?"
Ooh.
Ah, and I
Like
will
he
just
sees you, he knows what's going on. Anything
Gruna-
else for Gruna?
nothing else.
And Felix, what are you gonna do?
Okay, quick question about the action economy for D&D. So you get an attack action, you get a bonus action, and you also get a move action? Or is that
Yes.
also... Okay. If I move, will that take my attack action, or is that
No. So
okay?
you are essentially correct. It's action, bonus action, and movement.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna move closer. My movement is 25, so I'll move
Oh, because
there.
you're a little guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe you are close enough. Okay. I'm gonna give you a bardic inspiration. Gort
Ooh.
or Gorf.
Gorf. Yeah.
And then I'm going to again, they're not close enough for any of my lower level attacks or anything, so I'm just gonna ready my attack for a when they get a bit closer. Same thing.
All right.
All the dead.
All righty. So, anything else for you?
I believe that's everything I can do for
All
now.
right. Then this guy is going to run up, and I think that gets him close enough so you can do Toll the Dead. And what's his saving throw? Is it Wisdom?
Wisdom, yeah.
All right. Let's see.
Not quite wise.
He fails.
He's smart enough.
Let's see. Yep,
I
he
have taken
failed.
damage. I have a question. Has he taken damage, this one?
He has.
Yep.
Okay, so he
He
takes
has, in
1d12.
fact. All right. Give me a roll.
Spells, dying. Dead. Eight damage of necrotic damage.
All right. He is not super excited. He's looking pretty messed up at this point. He's like, he's preparing to just mess you guys up real bad.
He's also missing a nose.
He is missing his nose. You are all terrible people.
Excuse me.
All right, Dill.
He's
What's going on?
alliterating my suffering with the voices. He deserves nothing.
That's right. Yeah, no, he's laughing at you because you're a punk.
Yeah.
So what I
As a reaction.
Yeah, no, you can talk as much as you want as long as it's not like a diatribe.
and all right, understood. And I'll help you out a bit. And I totally forgot my familiar last round. So before I do anything, first I will move up 30 feet, right up there. Oh shit. And my familiar will leave my scythe and fly up to the that one. Oh, it just gets there. It has 50 flying speed, and it's going to use the help action to distract that devil. So the next attack against it has advantage.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to send an Eldritch Blast at the second one.
All right, give me attack and damage.
13 to hit.
And
son of a...
it just hits.
Yeah.
And they are both looking pretty messed up at this point. And anything else for you?
Let me check my bonus actions. No, I think that's it. That is it for me.
All right. Gorf, what are you going to do? All right. So the devil had been holding his action since he only moved 30 feet. And he is going to attack you twice before you get hit off?
Just for fun, I'm gonna do cutting words.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at you. All right, give me cutting words.
Cutting words as a reaction when a creature that is not immune to being charmed, you see within 60 feet, makes an attack roll. Okay, so I just roll the die. It's 1d6, right?
Yeah.
For inspiration.
Next level it's 1d8. I think.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he does get distracted by you. What's your AC, Gorf? It is 16. Yeah, he does get distracted by you, and he like misses and gets all pissed off, and you see his whole beard suddenly come to life and lash out at Gorf. But that misses too, very sadly. And now, Gorf, give me attack and damage.
With
Oh, wait.
advantage.
Are you reckless attacking?
The raven is all up in its face, giving him advantage.
How
anyway.
long? Okay.
One attack, I think.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
better. That's better.
You're welcome, bud.
Wait, so you have advantage?
Yeah, the raven is distracting the creature.
You also have a d6 if you want to make that like a critical.
Well, so distraction. What does that do? I think distraction imposes disadvantage on attacks, right? Does
No,
it
this
does
is
it give some?
this is
Is
the
that help
aid action. This is the aid action, or the help action is called.
Oh, okay, so I see.
Mm.
All right, fabulous.
No, there are two uses for it. If you're aiding someone on a check, you're helping them. If you're aiding them in an attack, you're distracting the targets.
Will give advantage.
All right, cool. Cool. So
Two-handed or one-handed?
yeah. Okay, so 20 damage. Okay, so 20 damage.
Hell yeah.
He is looking fucked up. Yeah. What's your what's my save? Oh, he
Nope.
definitely missed that. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So you see this devil as Gorf hits him. You see this devil just disintegrate in a burst of bright light right in front of you as there's nothing left except some of the rings that were adorning his beard and his glaive just sort of fall to the ground, and you see a sort of red mist sort of rising into the air.
Ugh.
And you realize that normally in the upper levels when you destroyed a demon or a devil, there would just be sort of like some black goo left, but there's no black goo. There's actual some sort of blood or something, and you see it start to coalesce in the air into this red crystal.
Wow.
Yep.
Idiot.
Fascinating.
It's like a video game thing when you kill an enemy.
Idiot. Good
Yeah,
enough.
that's it for your movement. All right.
The
Anything
raven
else?
just
I
the
was.
raven's just winking at you, but you can't tell because it only has one eye.
So really, he's just blinking at me.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I mean,
All right.
we really needed a combat. He was just losing it. I'm done cooking. I want killing. I want killing.
All right. So he sees what happened to his comrade, and he takes off. He's like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! No!
Kevin,
No!
why?
Why? No! He was my best friend." And he just dashes away from you as fast as he can.
Opportunity attack.
What?
Opportunity attack.
Yeah,
Well,
you don't
have
get an
to-
opportunity to attack
for that.
with ranged weapons. Yeah, no, that it doesn't. It doesn't. You can't do opportunities with ranged weapons. It's only melee.
Mario, no.
The more you know.
Hey, I learned
All
something.
right, so
Don't be
Dill.
mad about it.
Right. So, Dill, what are you going to do? Or is that
Not
a tool?
Heal.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
just
that's
went.
a tool. I'm like,
So,
This is the
gotcha.
option I use my token.
It's too
If you use
close
my token, it would be crystal clear which one it is.
All right, fine. I'll use your Shiva next time.
All right,
so I'm
so,
assuming he's running like cowardice bitch, yes?
oh yeah, oh yeah. He's not having any of this.
Is there somewhere down the hall for him to go?
You can't really. This room is super long. You can sort of. They've kicked up a lot of sand, so you can't really tell what's going on the other end of the room.
He'll just casually walk forward and hold his action for anything that might come out at him.
All right. And are you gonna go? So you're just gonna do your full 30?
Yep. And just
Alright,
hold an
cool.
attack with my shadow blade.
All right. And Freya?
You're not gonna. I'm not being a dick. You're not gonna. I gotta learn how to feed cat. I'm not trying to be a dick. I know that's been your job forever.
Dude,
So good.
you
Freya?
don't see this?
Was sitting in the middle of talking to someone on the computer? Yes, this is important to relate to.
Hey,
Yay.
sorry, that was my roommate.
Yeah.
Don't forget to close the door behind you. Don't forget to close the door behind you.
Yeah, like I said,
All right.
I'll close the door.
You're not a douchebag. Did I ever once call you a douchebag?
No, I'll just be.
Okay, so I'm going
Good
to.
douchebag.
We're gonna do a little holding of the action for Freya
Yeah.
while she
Sorry
deals with.
about that. My
whatever's
roommate's
going on.
My roommate's gone.
Douchebag.
My
Okay.
roommate's being my roommate.
Okay, so. All right, so what are you gonna do?
I'm going to shoot him in the back of the knee with an arrow.
All right, and I think this one would be at this. Oh, you don't get disadvantage. All right, give me attack and damage, sir. Oh yeah, that hits. So give me some damage on this guy. Ooh, yeah. So is your bow magical?
No, it is not.
All right, so
Sadly.
you see it sort of like it doesn't quite dig in as much as it should. You see it sort of pop back out. And you see it did a little bit of damage, but it didn't really do as much as you've seen your arrows do before. And do you want to do anything else?
No, I can't exactly do anything else.
All right, Gruna, what are you gonna do?
Let me do the movement on the character first. So, and then I narrate everything. Out. Nope, not enough range. So Gruna will still be struggling while he's hearing the voices speaking to each other, just crying and about all that they wanted to do in their lives. And she will just, as she sees as the other fiend tries to escape, just go running after them. You're not going anywhere, and just pa 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 pa, and double movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right.
Go to here, and that's all.
All right. And Felix, what's happening with you?
I am going to. I mean, it's not like I can catch up to him, really.
That's very true.
I guess I'll just move closer. I don't
Okay.
really think I have
had an
anything that'll.
idea.
What's your idea?
All right.
You'll have to move closer to me for my idea to work.
Throw him.
Or I can move closer to you on my turn.
You gonna fastball special?
Attach him to your arrow.
There you
Looks
go.
like a
Hey,
man.
Attach him to my arrow.
I mean, it's
Listen.
quite heavy.
at this point, I should just be riding on Gorth's back or Gorf's
On
back.
course, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, like one
You
of
know,
those
like
strap
baby-
things, like baby things. Yeah, yeah. That's perfect. I love that. I'll have to find one at the magic shop.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
Luna has to have one for Glacia, so
right.
maybe there's some really in the
And
her
just
house.
FYI, we are at a 15 minutes until the end of session. So
Let's go.
give
Let's
me
finish this room.
give me what's going on. Let's kill this guy.
I moved.
All right.
That
So
was it.
anything else for you? Okay.
No,
fabulous.
I can't do anything else.
Then Dill, why don't we see what's going on with you?
Shit, it's me already? Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
keep
I'll,
it moving here.
Yeah,
We should
I'm
move
getting
it.
up right in front of Gruna, where my spot is supposed to be. And I am within range of an Eldritch Blast, so another blast, another dark energy around my
right.
lantern, shoots out. 17 to
damn.
hit, finally. 9 points of force
Damn.
damage.
Okay. Wow. And he, as he is running, it like smacks him right in the back of the head, and he like takes a tumble onto the ground, looks behind him, obviously terrified. Anything else for you?
My Raven is just gonna like perch on Gorf's shoulder and use the aid action on him. But that's only
All
for
right.
ability checks, not attacks. So if you have to do an ability check, all of a sudden you have it.
And Gorf. All right, Gorf, what are you going to do? All right.
Grab
So he tumbled and like slid about 10 feet. And the devil just does not even answer. He's obviously just terrified of what's going on. Can you do an action after a dash? Isn't
It
dash
wasn't-
your action?
did you dash?
But now you can see the other end of the hall, and it's just a solid wall. Like this guy's got nowhere to go. So he is going to get up off the ground, run as far away from you as he can after pulling himself up out of the dirt, and you see him just sort of frantically looking for an escape. And now it is a fool again.
Can I use a reaction to say something? Basically.
I mean, you can talk. that
Okay,
does not count as an action
I
or a
just wanted
reaction.
to say I was gonna say something as Gruna. We want him alive. I would say we want him alive.
Pull it together.
Yes, maybe we can get information from him. He's been to the other rooms, it seems.
That's all I say. We want him alive.
All right. And Athul, what are you going to do?
How far is he from me?
Quite a
still
ways.
By the way,
Within range.
like,
Really
like
within
He is
range.
160 feet from you.
Yes, that's out of range.
None of my shit goes that far.
Well, knowing that we want to take him alive, I draw 4 arrows and shoot it so that I pin him to the wall.
Oh my god.
quite difficult to do.
Thul will
Okay.
just dash to keep up with the group, but yeah, he's too far out of range.
All right.
All right. So Athul's dashing. Do you want to attempt that trick shot?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Have you ever attempted this shot before?
No, I have attempted similar shots, but not quite to the extent of
So
4 arrows.
Four arrows perfectly precisely aligned so that it pins someone to a wall and does
Yes.
not kill them.
Yes.
All right. I am going to say
160. 180.
180 feet. I am going to say that you pull 4 arrows out of your quiver and you try to knock them all at once.
One at a
and
time.
3 of them
Preferably,
so you
but,
you absolutely cannot do 4 at a time because you only have 1 attack. So you can attempt to do all 4 at once, or you can do 1 regular shot.
You really need to only get one in his shoulder to stick to the wall.
I'll go with one arrow then.
Okay, so
like
you
a
are
safer
attempting
bet.
to do non-lethal damage at 180 feet, which means you have to have
Yes.
this precisely aligned. You are going to have disadvantage on this shot.
Okay. So it's a D20 to make the shot.
Yeah. Give me 2 d20 rolls. So that one does not hit. Oh, you crit failed on that. So,
Kill him.
as you attempt to very precisely make this happen, you shake your head a little bit to try to focus your gaze, and it gets sand in your eyes. And as you try to wipe the sand out of your eyes, you accidentally release the arrow. And give me a d6.
Oh, this is
It's
gonna be
gonna
great.
hit one of us. We're all in the path. It's gonna hit one of us.
Well, that's so a d6, so a 5. So let's see. 1, 2, 3,
Why are you going so slow? I'm scared now.
4, and it is Gorf as number 5. Gorf, can you please roll me some damage? Good sir. No, not you. What's your is it 1d6? Okay, so
It's
Gorf, you
1d6
take
plus
7.
3.
Yeah, you take 7 damage, Gorf, as an arrow lodges itself in your shoulder.
Just sitting there like, fucking ow.
Didn't do
You see a
anything.
guy-
Just sitting here. Nope, that wasn't
Freak
me.
out! I just straight up freak
That's
out and
almost
start
all of my temporary
apologizing
hit points I gave
profusely.
you.
I freak out and start apologizing profusely.
Oh my god. The devil looks back and laughs at you a little bit, and then keeps trying to like get through the wall.
Okay,
And
decide.
now,
You're
Gruna.
don't laugh at us. You're not in a position to laugh, bitch. Okay. So, Gruna, I will do my full movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As she's still struggling a bit, runs and just says, Gorf, I'll let it to you. And I will cast my amazing 60 feet guidance to him.
Oh, very nice. Okay. Fabulous.
And you will feel as the same. It's not divine energy. I don't know if Gorf has experienced guidance before, but this one is more like a need that comes like, it's quite uneasy, actually. You feel like your hair rises and then just becomes normal again.
Nice. All right. So he gets if he's doing an ability check, he gets a D4 and advantage. All right, Felix, what are you going to do?
I guess I'll just dash all the way over here.
All right. You get it, Felix. You get them mouse legs running.
Man, we're so small. It's like twice as much energy. It's a real.
I imagine like.
And now we have got it is time for a little dill action.
All right. I'll shout out. If I can get close enough, I will be able to paralyze him for a few minutes, and I'll just use all my movement and my action to get all the way, let's say, up there.
Okay.
I was like, whoa!
Anything else for you?
Touchdown!
All right.
And my raven. Let's see, how far away are you from? Shit! It's just out of range from the raven. But I'll say, can the raven hold a help action? Yeah. So it's just 55 feet away, and it has
yes,
50.
it can. The raven has its own initiative, so yes, it can. It can.
Okay,
hold its own
so
action.
yeah, it's going to hold an aid action to distract the devil if Gorf gets close enough.
Awesome.
And that's my turn.
And Gorf, what are you gonna do, Mr. Gorf? No, he can say that, but he can't. Because that would definitely be an action.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be a bonus
Yeah,
intimidate
grapple.
action?
Well, no, you can attempt to like if you would like to do. Because we have so many spells on you that give you like extras on like
Hardy,
abilities and stuff,
inspiration, guidance,
I
and
will-
help. So yeah.
I will let you attempt to use your words to intimidate him. You just can't touch him as part of the action.
While running. I'm gonna kill if you move.
Don't fucking move.
Well, not that bad. You're a guided bitch. Let's go!
Okay,
Yo!
so
Speed bar.
so-
Speed bar
Let's
to the
go.
Martin,
So-
let's go.
Nice.
High five.
So this devil is just
Die.
he's sort of like he turns around and he's sort of like holds his glaive up a little bit and he sort of like pokes you with it half-heartedly and then he's like, no, don't murder me, people are always murdering me, oh god.
It's so sad. What the?
And he just starts crying because you're so scary. Oh,
What did you do to this guy?
Is it over them? Since he's not gonna move.
Are we still even in combat
Yes.
at this point? It's more of a murder. We're just completely destroying this guy. Like,
Yeah. So
Him-
so At this point, he's essentially surrendered. So we're out of combat. So you all can do whatever you need to. Uh, you sure can. And
I'm just gonna
the devil sort of tries to hold on to it a little bit, and then just sort of like lets it go, and like curls into a little ball, like just doesn't want to be murdered by the giant bear.
Let me that for.
I mean, I have to admit,
Him.
the devil is significantly less imposing than I thought.
we're gonna play good cop, bad Gorf. That's what we're gonna play.
No, I'm not
Um,
gonna play with him. Gruna will approach, and while you can see that she's really pissed, like struggling with all the voices in her head, and just really pissed. And Gorf hold him, and then she will speak in his own language, the devil one. Like, I will speak in your language, so you will understand clearly what I'm gonna tell you.
And
First of
so he recognizes that sort of glow. He knows where that comes from. And he's going to look at you and say something in fiendish that apparently no one else can understand. I'm going to send you a little message.
Just put your hand through the wall right next to his head.
I will argue that everything sounds hostile.
So he grumbles something. He seems legitimately terrified. And you see one of the tendrils of his beard lifts up and it rams itself into his own head. And he falls down dead.
Could I bring him back with Spare the Dying and be like, no, you ain't going anywhere, bitch.
Now, as you start trying to attempt to cast the spell, you watch his body sort of dissolve into another red crystal.
Kyle, while that was happening, I would have gone and checked out the first red crystal.
So, all right, we can do a little bit more, and then we've got to run away. But, so there are now two shining gems, and you see that the altar at the other end of the room seems to sort of pulse very gently with the same sort of light that these crystals are pulsing with. What?
Did they? No, Gorb, I
Did
think they
they-
were the crystals.
I'm sorry, I am not understanding the thing that you were asking me. No, this is their actual blood coalescing into a gemstone. Well, what you can see is that, and what you all recognize from having battled some demons, like the two new guys, maybe not, you might not understand this, but the other ones, you've watched hundreds of demons and devils now turn into black goo. You know that that's what's supposed to happen. You know that they're supposed to go back to their own sphere. They're supposed to go back to either the abyss or the hell. And for some reason, something is different here.
No.
I think their
Do you
essence
remember
is
what he
still
said
around.
that he doesn't want to die anymore? It's not the first time. They're probably summoning or something. Is any of you hurt? I cannot handle this anymore. As she's still struggling with the voice.
Perhaps it's some form of hibernative protective state they can enter, or that they're forced into.
Then I'm sorry. Then I will just waste my bardic inspiration. So like I had nothing. So the glow will disappear, and Gruna will start to feel a little bit better.
Yeah, take a few
No, no,
breaths.
I'm okay. I'm okay. Do you remember what the devil said? He said that he didn't want to die anymore or something like that. So they're probably used for that. So like as a summoning or something. There's not something normal that you say. And also, they're not turning to good. They're probably like a key of some sort.
I
Yeah,
think
right. What
we
would
I think we've got what we need to go to the next room now, though. I think these crystals activate the pedestal and may unlock the next door. We'll have to see.
I agree.
I think we saw someone push the devils into the room. I think if we're able to find this person, we might get our answers.
I
Yeah,
agree.
so I say we go knock on that door from down the hall.
I think we should grab these crystals and then put them in the altar on the other end.
I agree.
so
Wanna do
are
the
you guys
honor?
going to do that?
Yes, I'm slowly heading over there real quick.
Okay. So, you pluck one of the crystals out of the air, and it like whatever magic was holding it up in the air obviously sort of dissipates. It's now just it looks just like it literally looks like a crystal made of blood. And you take it over to the altar, and when you set it on the altar, you suddenly hear this sort of chime from from where you entered the mine, from that first room with the 12 altars.
Maybe these are the 2 rubies for that one deity.
I'll just send my raven to go check out what's happening in that room.
Can you see through the raven's eyes, or can the raven communicate with you telepathically, or is it just emotionally?
Both.
It's both. I can see through its eyes, and I can tell it what to do.
The answer is both.
Okay, so as the raven approaches, you see that the gem that was floating in the air that had 12 sides, one of the runes, the rune of Clangadin Silverbeard, is now lit up.
Hmm. The rune of what was the name? The rune of
Clangadin's
Silverbeard.
the temple of the guy you're in right now.
Yeah. The rune of Silverbeard is now lighting up in the main entrance.
And
Then it's relevant to go.
you also see that one of the axes behind the shield. So the altar is a giant shield with 2 axes behind it. One of the axes, when you placed the gem on the altar, it melted into the altar and sort of slid behind it. And one of the axes has started sort of shivering a little bit.
Should we do the other one as well?
I think that's the only thing we can do at this point.
Yeah.
You mean to
So-
tell me
So
we
as
have these
you-
devils trapped here to serve as keys?
As you place the ruby, the second ruby, it does the same thing. It melts into the altar, and suddenly both of the axes fly out from behind the shield and just sort of stand there,
Okay.
hanging in the air and waiting. They are battle axes. I mean, they look exceptionally well, but right, like they are floating. They're, aside from
normal
that,
floating battle axes. I mean, what else do you
They-
want from battle axes?
Of course,
Right.
yeah.
They do look like 2 regular battle axes, just really well made.
Well, you're waiting for something, so
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm right here with you.
well,
Backing
I
up.
just lost
It-
my.
And you
My friend-
touch them.
We could do a
I mean, I can
check.
try an Arcana check. Maybe an Arcana check.
As you try to remove them from the altar, from where they're hanging. As you get further from the altar, it gets harder and harder to move them. Eventually, when you're about 10 feet from the altar, you just cannot get them any further away.
Come on, big guy. I thought you were stronger than that. I don't think I can. Okay, so they're not gonna go anywhere.
All right, so what I'm going to say is that is it for today. You have solved the riddle of the room. You have done the things, and we will see what the rest of the temple holds next week.
Dun, dun,
Yay!
dun.
Fabulous. Thank you very much, guys. And we will
Catch us
see you
again on
next
Friday
week.
for Hunters.
With nice surprises too.